Cypher, the so-called defensive expert in Valorant. Cypher's specialty is locking down certain areas and exposing enemies to you and your team. If you like to control the map as best as you can and gathering all the information that is needed to make a decision, Cypher is your guy. Today I'm showing you his abilities, how he works, and how to use him properly. Let's get into the video. Cypher's abilities. To get a good grasp of Cypher and his abilities, you have to keep in mind what he is. He is an information gatherer and a map controller. Let's start with his Q, Cyber Cage. Cyber Cage is a visual blocker that slows down enemies when they are walking inside of it. Pressing Q will immediately throw the cage on the ground, but it will not be activated just yet. Looking at the unactivated cage and pressing F will activate the Cyber Cage. A basic ability, but handy in some situations. Later on in this guide, I will show you how to combine it with other abilities to trap enemies perfectly. This ability costs you 100 and you can equip 2 of them. Before we get into the other abilities, if you enjoy these character guide videos, consider leaving a like and subscribing, and let's continue. E. Spy Cam. Spy Cam is Cypher's basic ability and has a multitude of purposes. Pressing E will equip the Spy Cam for you to throw it at a wall. Aim it at a spot that you like and press the left mouse button to place it. Place the Spy Cam in spots where you normally don't have any vision or behind you when you're expected to get flanked. Pressing E will allow you to watch the camera, and pressing E again will switch you back to Cypher. While in camera mode, you can shoot a scan dart at enemies to make them visible to you and your teammates. The enemy needs to manually remove the dart, so when tagging someone it is usually a good time to make a push or a move. When getting out of camera mode, the camera will make itself almost completely invisible. If you want to put the camera in another spot, you can look at your camera and hold F to get it back. Do not forget that your camera can be destroyed by the enemy. Bonus trick. Place your camera somewhere where it is visible to an enemy and use it as bait. Whenever he decides to shoot your camera, peek the corner and shoot him. Cypher has a bunch of these little trap plays, and it makes him so fun to play. When your camera is destroyed, you get a new one in 30 seconds. This ability is your basic ability and you do not need to buy it. C. Trapwire. The trapwire is my personal favorite. The trapwire is a wire you can place in between two walls that are not too far away from each other. When an enemy walks through it, it reveals their location through the wall to you and your teammates. Remember this, the trapwire can be destroyed by the enemy and you can also pick it up again if you're not satisfied with your placement. Try to put the trapwire as invisible as possible. You can use the trapwire as a flank cover or as bait. When pushing one side, you can put 2 trapwires on the flank routes behind you to make sure you are safe. You will hear when it gets destroyed or when you identify someone. My favorite way to use a trapwire is to use it as bait. Try to place it at a spot where you know someone will come from. Look at an angle where you can almost see them if they walk through the trapwire. Whenever they walk in the wire, their first instinct will be to shoot the trap, and at this time you peek around the corner and shoot them. Also, a bonus tip. Whenever the enemy team is expecting a trapwire in a hectic situation, throw a cyber cage on it as well. Activate the cage when the enemy team is pushing and they will not notice the trapwire. Now you can see your enemy through the cyber cage and the enemy will have a small panic attack. The trapwire costs 200 and you can carry 2 of them. X. Neural Theft. Neural Theft, Cypher's ultimate. This ability sums up the use of Cypher the most, revealing enemies without exposing yourself. Whenever you kill someone, you have 7 seconds to use your ult on the dead body. Cypher throws his hat on them and in a few seconds it will reveal all enemies on the map and through the walls. This information is for you and your teammates and it will be very clutch in some situations. I would not advise holding onto this ult for too many rounds. If you have a chance to give your team the information in a hard round, just do it. You need 7 ultimate points to be able to use it. So, how do you use Cypher to maximize his skill set? Try to be as sneaky and innovative as you can be with your abilities. Don't put your camera in the same spot every round, the enemy team will notice. So switching up your camera and trapwires will at least annoy the enemy team very much. Being patient and letting people come to you is ideal, so defense works best for Cypher. That doesn't mean he is useless on offense. Also, one of my biggest tips is to communicate the information you gather with your teammates via team chat. And that is my guide on how you play Cypher.